Justin, it's great because seasons are long, and you guys ended on a 4-game winning streak at the end of last year. What is the value of that to you? I know it's last year, new staff, but give me why that matters to you.
Yeah, well, first off, thanks for having me. And I think that 4-game winning streak tells us a lot because you have to find ways to win games in the NFL. And, in the first half of the season, we lost so many close games decided by 7 points or fewer. And every game in the NFL is going to come down to 2 minutes or something like that. And for us to kind of find a way to win late in the season, I think we found out how to do that. And I think if we can carry that over and apply that to an entire season, I think we could be really good.
So you guys lost 12 games, by the way, decided by 1 possession last year. You did not lose all of them, so that's most in the NFL. I want you to take me to the practice you had today and go back 1 year from today at any practice. What is the difference for you a year removed from last year? How has the world changed? How you see the game?
Yeah, that's a great question because last year I think I was just worried about lining up correctly and opening to the running back the right way. And I was just worried about saying the play correctly, making sure I don't forget any motions. But this year it's a little different. I have to worry about mic IDs and flipping protections and making sure that, I'm on the right side given certain coverages. So it's definitely been a different year, but it's been a lot of fun.
You're only 22 years old, or you were last year. I don't know your birthday, which, by the way, when is your birthday?
It's March 10th.
Okay. Well, so you're 22 right now. All right.
23, actually.
Okay, you're 23. My bad. So I said last year, one of the things I've always wondered is when you walk in and you're the youngest guy in the locker room and everybody says, okay, go be a leader. And I'm like, well, he's 23. His teammates are 29 and 30. Do you feel a little more comfortable off what you accomplished, walking in and letting your presence, your voice be heard a year later?
Yeah, I think so. I think the important thing is to be yourself. And I've never wanted to be a rah-rah guy who's only up when things are good. And I want to be the same person when times are bad and when times are good, and being true to yourself and being yourself and being genuine with your teammates and having a relationship outside of football. I think all of those things go into being a good leader. And when things need to be said, I don't have a problem stepping up and saying them. But I could always be better. So that's just something that I'm always going to work on. So you have a new coach and 4 new offensive linemen. And by the way, you've got a center who's a Pro Bowler, Corey Linsley. How long, Justin, until they're used to your voice, your cadence, your inflection? Because part of this game as a quarterback is manipulating the defense, getting them to move, to show their tell. Like, how long do you feel it's going to take before there's some symmetry here and you feel like, okay, this is a unit. We're all one here? I feel like we've actually got a pretty good step on that. I think the entire spring when we were able to work in OTAs and kind of work together, all those guys showed up and we got to work on the cadences. And Brian Balaga is definitely a guy who's always been on me, even last year, about making my snap count sound differently and having multiple cadences to hold the defense accountable. And for him to do that and, kind of hold me accountable, I think that's awesome. And it's only going to help us. And for us to be able to use different snap counts, different cadences, I think it gives our offensive line a huge advantage. It's funny. I was talking to somebody the other day, and they were talking about a certain NFL quarterback. And I'm not going to mention his name, but they said he's not a great practice player, but he's a good game player. And I always think to myself, if you're Tom Brady, I read a story the other day, he's punting a football, he's screaming and yelling at people, and he's throwing his helmet at practice after a bad practice. And you can do that if you're Brady. What is your personality like? Do you have the intensity at practice that you would in a game? Are you a good practice player? How do you view it as you grow? I try to be perfect in practice, and it's unfortunate because I'm never going to be perfect in practice, and I have those almost unreachable standards in practice, and I need to be better at coming back at the next play. And I've done a great job working on that this past year. And you're going to make mistakes, you're going to throw interceptions, incompletions. It's all about bouncing back on the next play and giving your team a chance at winning. And I think practice is a great place for that because I'm going to throw interceptions and incompletions in practice, and I'm going to have an opportunity to get better after them. So I've tried to stay pretty level-headed during practice. So you were sacked. You and Joe Burrow were tied for the most sacked quarterback last year. And Russell Wilson, even this offseason, complained publicly. He said, I'm tired of getting hit. It hurts. When you're getting sacked last year,
There's a big difference between an Oregon State guy hitting you and a Kansas City Chief guy. Was there a moment last year for you, Justin, that you felt the hits were taking their toll, if not physically, mentally on you?
No, I think we did a pretty great job in our strength and conditioning program where I felt like I was able to kind of withstand some of those hits. And a lot of them were my fault, too. I could have got the ball out earlier. I could have changed the protection and things like that. So it's on all of us. But, I think as long as you take care of your body, you keep eating the right things, you work out, you stretch and stay durable, I think you're able to take some hits. And obviously you don't want to take too many. But I think we did a good job of that this past year and even this year, too. So they always say for quarterbacks, it takes until year 3. Russell Wilson said, year 3, the light came on. And I guess that means he told me one time, he said the game slowed down. So I just want you to try to explain to me, because I want to get into your head here. Is the game slowing down to you? And kind of explain what that would mean to somebody watching us talk, that as you play in the NFL, because it's obviously faster than the college game, that it slows down. What exactly does that mean or look like to you? Yeah, that's one of those tough things because you look at a college team and you say maybe 1 or 2 of those guys on defense is going to go to the NFL. And on an NFL team, every single guy is part of the NFL. They're all fast. Every guy on the field is probably faster than me. And that's kind of what you have to realize. And the speed of the game is so much quicker, and realizing coverages and holding disguises, it makes playing the quarterback position so much harder. And there's just so much that I need to learn and so much film that I need to watch to really understand a defense for what it is. And I think the more you can do that, the better you're going to get. Coach Day and we've done a great job of that this offseason, watching film. But there's always so much more you can understand about run fits and protections and things like that. The list goes on.
Yeah. By the way, Keenan Allen is one of the most underrated players, not just receivers. I remember when he played at Cal. He's just an incredible player. But it's funny, he didn't run the fastest, or he's not the biggest, but there's an it factor to him. If I'd never seen Keenan Allen play, Justin, and I said, Justin, tell me what makes Keenan Allen special, how would you describe it?
That's a tough place to start. I would say he finds a way to get open. However he does it, he understands leverage so well, and he's able to break, contain, and find a place to sit, or he's just got such a good feel for the game. And he's got incredible hands, too, and he catches everything that I throw to him. And there are even times where, I'm hanging on to him too late just because I know he's going to get open. And sometimes I get back to the progression too late, but Keenan just finds a way to get open, makes plays, and with the ball, he can make guys miss. And he might not be the fastest guy in the game, but he's got some good speed, and he runs some pretty good routes too.
Finally, you have a new coach, and he's a defensive coach, Brandon Staley. He's a young guy, he's very smart. But, defensive coaches, Justin, they don't want quarterbacks to make mistakes. They want the defense to win the game. Have you ever gone up to your coach yet and said, Coach, you got to lighten up. I'm going to throw the deep ball. I got a good arm here. Defensive coaches generally are more conservative than offensive coaches. Have you sensed that yet?
No, he's done a great job of communicating with us, and he even played quarterback for a little bit too, so he really understands the game. And we ended up completing a post ball into quarters a couple of days ago for a touchdown, and he came back the next day, tried to hold that look, disguised it, and got the safety deep. And I think they made a good play on the ball. So it's a game of cat and mouse, and he's done an incredible job. So it's been awesome to play for him so far. Justin
Herbert, Chargers. I'm going to a couple of your games with my buddies. I've got several buddies who bought season tickets to watch you play. Good luck. Stay healthy, my friend. We'll talk soon.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd, or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.